AI might have just found a way to fight cancer. Google DeepMind built a system that reads human cells like text, and it uncovered a hidden method to make tumors visible to the immune system. At the same time, wild GPT-6 leaks are flooding the internet, hinting it could drop any day now. So, let's break it down. Let's start with Google's AI that might have just found a way to fight cancer. They call it Cell 2-Sentence Scale 27B, or just C2S scale for short. It's a massive 27 billion parameter foundation model built on the Gemma family, Google's open source model lineup that's already been pushing boundaries in reasoning and multimodal understanding. But this time, they pointed all that power towards something completely different: single cell biology. In simple terms, the model reads and writes the biological sentences that make up life inside every cell, translating raw gene activity into a language AI can reason with, and the results have been wild. In collaboration with Yale University, DeepMind used this model to search for new ways to make cancer cells visible to the immune system. See, one of the biggest problems in cancer immunotherapy is that some tumors go what scientists call cold. That means they basically hide from the immune system. The body can't detect them because they don't show enough of the right surface signals, the ones that tell immune cells, hey, I'm a problem. Turning those cold tumors hot, meaning visible and attackable, is a key goal for researchers all over the world. So here's where things get interesting. DeepMind gave its new 27 billion parameter model a task: find a compound that would only activate an immune signal under very specific conditions. Only in cells that already show low levels of a protein called interferon, which acts as a kind of immune alarm. Smaller models couldn't pull this off, but scaling up changed everything. C2S scale could reason through those subtle biological contexts like a scientist would. To run the experiment, Google's researchers built what they called a dual context virtual screen. One environment had patient-derived tumor samples that still had immune activity going on. The other was stripped of any immune context, just isolated cancer cell lines. The AI then simulated the effect of over 4,000 drug candidates across both environments, asking which ones would only enhance immune visibility in the first scenario. The idea was to find something that would boost antigen presentation, basically the signal that helps immune cells detect cancer, but only in the right setting, where it's safe and biologically relevant. The output from the model was fascinating. Around 10 to 30% of the hits it predicted were already known drugs from previous studies, which proved it wasn't hallucinating. But the rest were entirely new candidates, substances that had never been linked to this immune effect before. And right there, among those unexpected results, one name stood out: silmitasertib, also known as CX4945, a kinase CK2 inhibitor. CK2 isn't new to science. It's a protein tied to cell growth, signaling, and even parts of the immune system. But no one had ever shown that blocking it could help expose hidden tumors. The model predicted that combining silmitasertib, a CK2 inhibitor, with low-dose interferon would do exactly that: turn cold tumors hot. When DeepMind and Yale tested it in human neuroendocrine cells, data the AI never saw during training, the results matched perfectly. Silmitasertib alone had no effect, interferon alone barely moved the needle, but together, they triggered about a 50% jump in antigen presentation, making the cancer cells far more visible to the immune system. That's an early stage result, but a huge moment for AI in medicine. The model didn't just recall known data, it generated a brand new testable hypothesis that held up in living cells. Smaller models couldn't even detect the context split that made it work. And instead of keeping it private, Google open-sourced everything: the weights, code, and docs on Hugging Face and GitHub under CC BY 4.0. Trained on over 57 million cells from 800 datasets using TPU5, it's now a global tool for researchers to build on. As Sundar Pichai put it, this could open a new pathway for cancer therapy once more testing is done. In short, it's not about curing cancer overnight. It's about creating a faster, AI-driven pipeline for real biological discovery. The same Gemma architecture that powers language and reasoning in humanoid systems is now decoding cellular behavior, a true language model for life itself. While Google's AI was busy helping scientists fight cancer, the rest of the tech world went into total meltdown over something completely different: GPT-6. It all started when CNBC aired an interview with analyst Mark Mahaney from Evercore ISI, who confidently claimed that OpenAI's next model, GPT-6, would launch before the end of 2025.
GPT-6 is coming out before the end of the year, and I just think we're going to see these step function improvements in the product. If you do that, and you're in the OpenAI ecosystem, you're okay in terms of vendor financing.
Within hours, social media went wild. Posts from @AI Leaks and News and Testing Catalog exploded across X, shouting, "Breaking! GPT-6 is dropping in less than 3 months." Even OpenAI investor Brad Gerstner's name got pulled into the chaos, fueling the hype even more. Then came the twist. An OpenAI engineer known online as Rune @TCZL stepped in to crush the rumor, saying flat out that GPT-6 isn't shipping this year. What users are actually seeing right now is still GPT-5, just in different forms. There's GPT-5 Auto, which swaps between reasoning and instant models depending on your query, and GPT-5 Instant, a stripped-down, faster version. So even if it feels new, everything you're using today is still running on GPT-5 tech. But behind the scenes, OpenAI is quietly building something massive. Multi-billion-dollar hardware deals are already locked in. They've partnered with AMD on a 6-gigawatt GPU rollout and with Broadcom to co-develop custom AI chips that will eventually push over 10 gigawatts of computing power between 2026 and 2029. So, no GPT-6 yet, but the foundation for it is already being built on a scale we've never seen before. Officially, Sam Altman has only said 2 things. GPT-6 will be significantly better than GPT-5, and GPT-7 will take it even further. He's also hinted that these next-gen models will have scientific discovery abilities, which lines up perfectly with what Google's doing with DeepMind's biological AI. The next generation of AI won't just chat, it'll help uncover real-world breakthroughs. Still, the wildest part of the rumor mill claims GPT-6 will come with long-term memory and continuous learning. Basically, an AI that remembers you, learns from you, and improves on its own without retraining. Most of that talk comes from an MIT paper called Self-Adapting Language Models, SEAL, describing systems that can literally edit their own neural weights. There's no proof it's tied to OpenAI, but the timing and overlap have people convinced. If that ever becomes real, GPT-6 wouldn't just be another upgrade, it would be the first AI that actually evolves with you. For now, it's still theory, but with the infrastructure already rolling out, the next leap could hit as early as 2026. All right, that's all for this one. Thanks for tuning in. Drop your thoughts below, hit subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.